All right, another thing that your book covers is the issue with subject and object pronouns like I versus me. And your book covers this on page 552 and 553. So basically, personal pronouns are broken up into two categories here, subjective here and objective over here. The difference is these pronouns are used when the person or thing is doing the action of the sentence. I watched, we watched, she watched, who watched, all doing the action of watching. These words are used when the action is happening to that person or thing. So who is being watched? Me, us, him, all these are being watched by mom. And whom as well. Or these words we also use as the object of a preposition, like to them, for them, by him, from us, for me, and so on. Now, in most sentences, most of us probably use the right pronoun naturally as native English speakers. If you're not a native English speaker, then you might have to do some practicing or just read and listen a lot until it starts to come naturally to you. But one place where native English speakers do make mistakes is when the pronoun is paired with a name, like here, you and I, or Michelle and him, or Terry and she. Luckily, there is a really easy shortcut to tell if you're using the right pronoun or not. Basically, when you have two paired or a word paired with your pronoun, in this case, two pronouns paired together, if you take out the other person, then you'll be able to easily hear if the pronoun is right or not. So for example here, if we cross that out and read it, the director has asked I to draft proposal. That obviously sounds wrong. If you're a native English speaker, you hear, oh wait, nope, it should be me. So the director has asked you and me to draft a proposal. And now we know we have the right pronoun. Same thing here, Michelle and him. So if we want to cross out Michelle and see what sounds good, him is going to Madagascar. Nope, that's not right. Should be he. He is going to Madagascar. So we can revise this sentence to say, Michelle and he are going to Madagascar. The same thing happens when you put like an extra noun phrase next to the pronoun, like us, oboe, and bassoon players. If you just cross out the descriptive phrase here, then you can hear if it's correct. The squawk of the brass horns nearly overwhelmed us. Yep, sounds good. So that one is correct. Ushio, the last rock climber on the wall, tossed Terry and she, the remaining pythons and carabiners. So if we cross out Terry and, we can hear if that's correct. Ushio, the last rock climber on the wall, tossed she. Nope, should be her. So Terry and her would be the way to revise that sentence. So nice, easy shortcut. You don't have to memorize all of the subjective and objective pronouns. Just use that trick to tell if you're using the right one. Now, who and whom actually fit into this category as well. The trick here is simply to substitute he and him or they and them for those words who and whom. So he for who, him for whom, and then you can tell if it's correct or not. So we'll take a look at this third sentence to see if we have who correct here or not. So instead of who, I'm going to put he. And we have to kind of revise the sentence a little bit because it's kind of backwards, but we would say, I had never heard of he. Probably you're shaking your head right now saying, nope, that's not right. We would normally say, I had never heard of him. So that means since him is correct, whom is the word that we want here. The round table featured scholars whom I had never heard of. All right, pause the video real quick and see if you can do the first one and the second one on your own. Okay, the answers here for number one. It should be the programmer realized that she and the other interface designers were creating an entirely new web application. And number 2, the shower of sinking bricks caused him and his diving partner to race away from the collapsing seawall. All right, a few more examples here with who and whom. So if we were to replace, in this case, who with he or she, and whom with him or her, we'll go with her this time. Arriving late for rehearsal, we had no idea he was supposed to dance with her. Sounds pretty good. So that means that who is correct here and whom is correct here. Whom did you support for student government president? You can answer the question, I supported him. So him and whom would be the right. It's an objective pronoun, so this one is correct. So many singers came to the audition that Natalia had trouble deciding who to select for the choir. So Natalia decided to select, would you say he or him here? Natalia decided to select him. So that means whom would be what the pronoun that we want. And this is an example from before. The chief strategist, Dr. Bell, and I could not agree on a plan. If we cross all of this part out, we could say, I could not agree on a plan. That sounds correct. It shouldn't be me could not agree on a plan. So this one is correct as it is. All right, 4 more examples for you to try on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and then I will read the answers in a moment. Okay, here are the answers. Number 1, the reporter interviewed only 2 witnesses, the bicyclist and me. Number 2, we tenants would rather fight than move. Number 3, Janet was indignant when she realized the sales clerk was insulting her mother and her. And 4, the most traumatic experience for her father and me occurred long after her operation. This lecture continues in part 3.